Greetings, this is Suki, your Mistress of Chaos, and this is the guide on how to do Faceroll rotations. This is an intermediate guide. The beginner guide is called How to Faceroll, and I know you haven't seen it because I never actually made it. But here's a quick overview. Step 1, mash buttons. Step 2, if it's highlighted, especially mash those buttons. Step 3, try not to get hit. And that's it. Once you've mastered this, you're ready to graduate and move on to Faceroll rotations. Faceroll rotations extend the concept of face rolling to include the intro and outro skills. Our control group is going to be this group, Mortifi, Gian, and Verena. They each have their role. Mortifi is supposed to buff Gian is supposed to do all the damage, and Verena is supposed to clean up the mess when they fail step 3, don't get hit. So here it is in action. As you can see, Mortifi has failed step 3 almost immediately, but as long as he finishes his part of the rotation alive, that's enough. So let's see how he does. He made it. Now we bring in Gian, and we just mash buttons like crazy and try and have him do as much damage as possible without falling over. Then we activate his ultimate, and then we keep mashing buttons until one of 3 things happens. He defeats the enemy, his ultimate is over, or he gets flatlined. Hopefully it's one of the first 2 options. Our next example is the Cartethia team. Cartethia's mechanics are somewhat different, but the same basic principles still apply. As before, we begin with Chicona, who is there basically to buff Cartethia, so we keep mashing buttons and trying to stay upright while waiting for her ultimate to reset so that we can use it to buff Cartethia. Once Cartethia takes the field, we keep mashing buttons over and over until all of her swords are up. Then we activate her ultimate and she enters fleur-de-lis mode. At this point, we mash buttons like crazy because we're trying to generate enough energy so that she can cast her ultimate. Because once that happens, everything is flatlined. Our last example features an unusual team, Brant, Lupa, and Phoebe. Why Phoebe, you ask? Well, because of her outro skill, also known as the disco ball. It makes things interesting, if nothing else. So we begin with Brant. We start out much the same, just mashing buttons, but we want to wait for his skill to highlight because that's his shield, and the shield helps us when we fail step 3, which is to not get hit. And here it is. Now that we have a shield, once Lupa takes the field, she can just go crazy. Once Lupa takes the field, we just mash buttons as much as we can, especially if they're highlighted. And if we're lucky, we might accidentally activate Pack Hunt. She's just fun to watch no matter what's going on, especially after she does her ultimate. Once we get to Phoebe, we're faced with a dilemma. As you can see, there are 2 skills highlighted. Which one do we pick? Well, that depends. Which do you like better, blue or yellow? I choose yellow. Phoebe goes well with face rolling because she has a highlighted skill quite frequently, so you always know which buttons to smash. Now here, I could actually finish with her, but I don't because I want to see the disco ball. And that is the complete How to Do Faceroll Rotations guide. Stay tuned for the next guide. Skill descriptions. What do they even mean?